Hi, my name is Juan Martinez. I am a data analyst, and in this video I'm going to make a tutorial on how to solve an intermediate level SQL problem. Okay, so let's begin. We need to head to sqlpractice.com. This is the website we will be working in. And then we need to select hospital DB because we will be working with hospital data. And then we need to click on view all questions. We need to select difficulty medium. And then we need to scroll down until we see the question which says for every admission, display the patient's full name, their admission diagnosis, etc. So we select that one, and we can take a look at the tables. So we have three tables in this occasion: the patient's table, admissions table, and doctor's table. So the patient's table has information about patients who were attended in a hospital. The admissions table has information about the date of when the patients went to the hospital, when they arrived and when they left, and what was the diagnosis and who attended them, which doctor. And in the doctor's table we have information about the doctors, their name and their specialty. So now I can get rid of this, and we can take a look at the expected output. So you can see this is the expected output. This is what we should get after doing our query code, after running it. And if I click on get hint again, I can see the solution keywords the website is suggesting us to use. And if I click on get hint one more time, I can get a portion of the solution. So it's showing us some lines of code just to give us an idea on how to approach and solve this problem. Okay, so try to read the problem and try to solve it on your own, and then we can compare it together. And if you are stuck, or if you don't know how to continue, or if you are unable to solve the problem, we can do it together step by step. Okay, so now I'm going to read the question. So it says, for every admission, display the patient's full name, their admission diagnosis, and their doctor's full name who diagnosed their problem. Okay, so let's break it down. First, it says display, okay, for every admission, display the patient's full name. So we need to select, and the patient's full name, there is not a full name column in the patient's table, but we have first name and last name. So we need to concat that and combine those two columns. So I'm going to be doing the concat. I'm going to be using the concat function, and inside parentheses I'm going to type first name, comma, and space inside double quotes, and last name. Okay, so that's going to give me the full name. So if I just do this and if I run the query, I will get the full name. I can give an alias as full name, and then I need to display the admission diagnosis. So there is no information about the admission diagnosis in the patient's table, but in the admissions table. So we can see we have a diagnosis column here. So I'm going to join those two, join admissions on. Okay, so before proceeding, I'm going to give an alias to each table so that it's easier to refer to those later. Also, I'm going to do the same here so that we make sure that we are referring to the first name and last name of patients and not of doctors, because as you can see in the doctors table we have also a first name column and a last name column. Okay, so now I need to select the common key to join these two tables. So as you can see in patients table and in the admissions table we have in common the patient ID. Patient ID is a foreign key which references the patient ID in the patients table. So I'm going to use that pa.patient ID equals add.patient ID. Okay, so then so now I need to show the admission diagnosis. So here, if I come back to the select statement, I can use, I forgot to, just a reminder, I forgot to place a comma, so don't forget to place a comma. I need to select the diagnosis. So I'm going to just do AD, which is the admissions table, diagnosis. So it's a good practice when we are dealing with multiple tables and we are joining them, just to give an alias, maybe 2 or 3 letters, and every column that we are selecting also we need to specify from which table we are pulling, or we want to pull that column. Okay, so I'm doing that. We have the diagnosis and the doctor's full name, who diagnosed the problem. Okay, so if I just run this, I get the full name of the patient and the diagnosis. And now I need the doctor's full name. So I'm going to use comma. I need to concat. Okay, but before doing that, since the doctor's names are not in either the patient's table or the admissions table, I need to pull that from the doctor's table. So I need to join as well the doctor table, and I need to also do that. So okay, so I need to join that as well. So I'm going to do also join doctors. I'm going to give an alias do on, and what is common between doctor's table and admissions table is the attending doctor ID and doctor ID. So I'm going to do that on the o dot doctor ID equals add dot attending doctor ID. Okay, so now I can concat the o referring to the doctor's table dot first name comma space comma the o dot last name. So if I don't specify from which table I'm pulling these columns, the website and SQL won't know from which table, if it's from the patient's table or the doctor's table. And I can give this patient's full name and doctor full name. So I'm going to zoom out so that you can see better the code. So I'm doing this, and if I run this, you can see that we got it correct. So we got our patient's full name, the diagnosis, and the doctor's full name, who gave that diagnosis to the patient. And you can compare it with the solution provided by the website. And it was a little bit difficult, but we did it step by step. And if you find this video useful, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.